That's all we can do.
Yeah.
What's for dinner?
Hello and good morning and welcome to Foster's Animal World. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, and I'm really excited to be here and to be standing in for Foster today just for a little while till he gets to the studio. Yesterday they gave me a new title as part of the team on the show as productions coordinator, and apparently I've moved up very quickly and advanced to host. So here I am, and we're happy to be here. And I'll tell you, if it keeps on going like this, I'm going to be running the show soon. Anyway, Rock is in the studio as well, and he's on standby right now, getting ready to get our guests lined up for today. And good morning, Rock.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing fine.
Did you have any coffee today?
Not yet. I'm about to pull me out a can of Red Bull. No, actually, Pit Bull. Oops.
What? You did
Pull me a
not
can
say
of Pit
that.
Bull right now. That's our sponsor here. So you're gonna make sure that we get our sponsor out there. Pit Bull energy drink.
Actually, yes. Do you have any on hand right now, by any chance?
I have a sparkling can of Pit Bull right here.
Okay. So if you can, just take a sip and just tell us, like, if you get this, like, energy burst, or, how do you feel once you take a sip of that?
Let's see. Okay, here it goes. It's got to kick in for a minute. Hold on. It's got to
All
kick
right.
in.
Okay.
All right.
I heard that it just, like, directly goes right into your cells and just gives you a burst of energy and gets
Not
your
only
mind
that,
clear.
I'm thinking very differently. If you look at me now on the camera, I'm a totally different person.
Hello, and welcome April Fools to you.
You
Boy.
got me.
Oh my goodness! Welcome everyone. So it is the 31st, but we figured since it's the April 1st tomorrow so we start off with Regina, and it's on you, baby.
You like how I put that back on you?
She was fishing for it.
Oh my God, yes, and we probably should have waited to like the last second, so we could have saw those big eyes you had when Rock told you had to do the show. Oh God. That was really wonderful. Thank you so much, Regina, for going with the gag, man. I had to do that.
I step it up when I need to, I'll tell you.
All right, so Paula should be out there somewhere and trying to get in right now with us. Thank you so much for tuning in, and remember, if you're watching this live or on our archive show, right at the bottom, hit that subscribe to Foster's Animal World on YouTube, because I think if we get 10 more, we'll have 13 subscribers, so we need you. And today is going to be good, man. We got
Pulling Amy in right now. I'm giving.
Yeah, pull Amy up. We got Amy, and that's going to be great. Here, let me see what I got on my computer here.
Morning.
Hey. There you go. How are you, dear?
I am well. How are you?
Good.
Sorry about that, Amy. I seen you calling, but we were doing a little early April Fool joke, so I couldn't answer at the time.
Fools. Don't do that to me today.
Tomorrow is, but we did it early today. Foster is always first to get things going, so he wanted to roll it the day before.
I couldn't.
All right.
Yeah, I couldn't.
So am I your April Fool's joke to your listeners?
No. We just pulled it. It was on Regina. We just dropped her that I wasn't gonna be here, and she had to do the whole show, and it was so interesting. Welcome, everyone. Amy is from a wonderful organization. Dogs deserve better, and never a truer statement has been made. And so we're going to spend some time with Amy. She's going to tell us all the stuff that, they've been up to because, you guys stay busy, man.
We do. We never stop working. There's always another chained or penned or abused dog. We literally receive thousands of emails and calls a day
Really?
notifying us of dogs in danger.
Really? Thousands?
Literally, yeah.
How do you guys handle that?
We have case managers, and it's divided up in order of importance. And we also have field reps who go out to investigate because sometimes you have to sift through the people who just want to cause feuds with their neighbors. So sometimes, they aren't legit. So they have to be researched fully first before any course of action is taken.
And what state are you guys located in?
We're in Virginia. Our headquarters is in Virginia.
In Virginia? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Boy, we've had this week has brought a lot of drama out of Virginia, which we're going to get into later on. I don't know if you're familiar with just different things going on, but boy,
A couple things, so you can save that drama for your.
Yeah. Well, the rest of the we got some hours coming up here. Actually, we're gonna have Lee Day, and Lee is not part of the drama, but some people gonna be calling in, and then later, Gordon Shell, my main man. You know Gordon Shell?
Speaking of drama in Virginia, I know Gordon very well, and we love Gordon and we support Gordon. He's wonderful. That's exciting. He's going to be on today. I'm honored to share a spot with him.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, what's the latest thing going on with you guys? So you don't have to be in a hurry. We got plenty of time, but what's the number one issue happening right now?
Well, it's not really an issue, but our founder and CEO, Tamara Thane, has stepped down after 12 years with the organization. So she just feels that it's time that we have new leadership who can take us to a different level, and that she's humble enough to know her strengths and her weaknesses, and she feels that somebody else is better suited for the job. So that was probably our biggest change this week. And we're all adjusting. We will miss her greatly. She was a pioneer. Sure. She's the godmother of anti-chaining, and we are forever grateful and thankful for the work she's done. And we will continue to do that work in her name and in her spirit, although she's still with us. But.
Yeah, right, absolutely. Well, here we raise our Pitbull energy drink to Pamela, and thank you so much for the work that you've done and will continue to do, because because you're stepping down doesn't mean you're stepping out. So
no doubt about it.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. She's an example to all, and I've never met someone with such passion and tenacity, and we all respect her greatly. And I'm proud that I was able to know her in person. So,
absolutely. So, do you think you'll be taking over that spot?
Absolutely not.
No?
No, we have a new leader coming. Back to the drama. No. We have a new leader coming in, Denise. I have not met her yet, and I don't want to give too much about that because I know there are formal press releases coming out. But
sure.
There's a new wonderful animal activist who's very serious about the job and taking the company in a new direction, and we're all really, really excited about learning about her.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we got breaking news right here, ladies and gentlemen. So Denise will be stepping in. And as soon as she does, we would love to have you and her back, and talk about her future plans for the organization and direction and different things and how the community can support you guys.
That's wonderful. And that is actually one of our big focal points, because our fan base is worldwide, but we don't have a huge local presence. So last weekend we had our first annual Off the Chain charity event, which was hugely successful. And I lived to tell about it. I was in charge of that one. And I think I need a good vacation now. But we got it worked out. We had, I don't know, maybe 400 people. We had no idea how it was going to turn out. I know you're interviewing Lee Day in a few minutes. And she actually flew in from New Jersey to have a dog wedding with us, which was kind of one of the highlights. And one of my best friends, who's an opera singer, came in to sing at the wedding. And
oh my goodness! So
we had a lot of fun, but we did get our message across, and many new people learned about Dogs Deserve Better and what we do. And so anyway, perhaps the best thing that happened at that event was at the very end. Everyone was gone, and I had to go pay the bill, which is never fun. But I was
you got stuck with
at the bar, and a man walked up to me. And he said, "Are you the lady who was in charge of that dog event?" And I said, "Yes, I was." And he pulled out 2 crumpled $5 bills. And he said, "I'm going to give you the rest of my drinking money for the day, and I'm going to go home and make some changes around my house." And that was perhaps the biggest compliment.
Wow.
Seeing the pictures of the chained dogs and learning about the cons and how we rehabilitate them. It touched that man enough to go home and bring his dogs in the house. And that's what it's all about.
That is exactly what it's all about, man, because, education is the key. Education is the key, man. And the common person, just like that guy who is totally oblivious of these problems, and the problems are many, but just the common thing that is so many people so used to just chaining their dog up, tying their dog up in the backyard and this stuff and leaving them and thinking that's okay, so when you can reach John Q. Public, with the crumpled up $5 bills, man, that's the heart of the effort.
It was worth every ounce of struggle and stress putting that thing together, and it was a beautiful way to end it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let me ask you, talking about John Q. Public and drama, just talking about current events.
Going back to that drama, don't you?
Well, we love a little comedy, a little drama around here. Just keep it.
Right. Back to drama, baby.
Common drama.
Yeah, but out of all the other problems in the world, you heard about this bill in Indiana with
the anti-chaining.
No, it is anti-businesses having to serve, gay people or people.
Oh, you're on the gays now. I was still in the dog world.
Yeah, no, we still in it. Well, it's like gay dogs,
I'm sure. Right. Well, I might have one of those actually, but that's a whole other topic.
Exactly, and gay dog owners, it's like, being of the African American persuasion, I'm just sensitive when people start categorizing and separating and saying we don't have we don't want to serve you, we don't want to serve that, because it wasn't very long ago that you people can't come in here,
Right.
So it's just really interesting that somebody in 2015 would say, something against a certain group of people under the guise of religion. So I know people.
I grew up on the border of Indiana and Ohio, and I went to school in Indiana, and that is a disgrace. I saw something just this morning on Facebook. Imagine that, because Facebook is the Bible of all knowledge, where. And I don't know what state, I have to look it up again, but where EMTs will now have the choice whether or not to give treatment to gay and lesbians. And that is, I don't even have words for that.
Exactly. I mean, it's so this world we live in, it's just so interesting because there are so many problems. And education, is just the bottom line. So, switching reels for a second, you guys are involved with Donna Hughes and
That's my little secret. You're going to make me tell my secrets, aren't you?
Yeah, well,
Let me tell you. I am friends with Donna Hughes, and we are collaborating on something pretty major that we're very, very excited about. And actually, it happened just because of what you were talking about. Donna, as you know, had written her hit song, Dog on a 10-Foot Chain.
Mm-hmm.
And one day there was an article about it, and it was actually written about one of her neighbor's dogs that she passes every day, and it just broke her heart. Well, one day we were on Facebook, and her neighbors were on there, and they were being horrible. And they kept saying, why don't you do something worthy of your time and worry about humans instead of these bleeping dogs?
Right.
And it made me so enraged that I messaged her and I said, Donna, I've got a song. I'm a songwriter as well. And I said, I've got a song in my head, and I want to do it from a different perspective. I want it from the dog's perspective, but I want to use humans in a music video being treated the way that these dogs are treated, because if they can't visualize it with the dogs, I'll put the humans in there so they know what we're talking about, and we'll know how wrong it is. So we came up with a song. It's called Why Me. It was played at our finale as a gift to Tamara, and I'm sorry, trying to be humble, this song is good.
Yeah.
So we have a lovely production company named Flourish, Cedric Petrie. I'm going to give him a shout out, who has graciously volunteered to produce a professional music video. We started shooting that last week.
Great.
We have a beautiful model, Alicia White, who is actually 9 months pregnant, who came out to our field and was chained to a tree to prove a point, and is going to be a part of that music video. I'm not going to tell you about the lyrics, but you can imagine. It's very raw, it's very riveting. And while it was being filmed, in the distance, there were about 30 penned dogs in the woods that were howling throughout the production on last Sunday, and there was not a dry eye in that field. The whole team involved felt it, and it was, I can't even put into words. So we have Rhea Kelly from The Voice, who is going to be our lead singer on it. And we have some top-notch Nashville musicians, who I'm not going to disclose yet because that's kind of a little secret, and I'm very excited about that, who are backing her up. So it's an educational song, but it appeals to the masses. So when that is done, we will be back. I promise.
Yes, absolutely. Come on and play it. And, if you want to premiere it here, or, we do a whole promotion around it. But whatever you guys need, we're down with it.
I would be honored to do that. Yeah. I just, I want people who are truly passionate about the cause to have their hands on it first, because I think we both feel that it's going to cause quite a stir in the right direction, not in a negative way. It's just a reality check.
Yeah, absolutely. So you said that you guys are international. Where's your reach at, and how do you work with these other countries?
I couldn't even tell. All over the world. I think probably the only place we don't have people piping in is from Antarctica, because they can't. The messages we receive. Yeah, well,
China, they're not having it. They're not having
There's education to be done there too.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to work with a group in China, and who is it? I think it's is it? And I don't want to say the wrong name, but because we got so many supporters and people out there trying to help and giving us news, but an organization in China who's trying to get
the laws changed.
But they can't they can't speak publicly from China, and we don't want to have somebody Skype in, and next thing you know, they're locked up. So we're working with a group here in the United States that's going to speak for them. But yeah, it's a worldwide problem. So how does it work with you guys? Internationally in another country, because chaining is probably almost at the bottom of some of their problems, right?
Oh, I'm sure of it. Yes. Well, and just the general disregard for life as far as, weighing a human. And I know some people just don't weigh them the same as the dogs as the humans. I tend to kind of like my dogs better than a lot of the humans,
you
so
got
I might
that
be the
right.
wrong one to talk about that.
Well, you can count
But
on the dog. It's like you.
It goes back to education.
Yeah. Yeah.
And goes back to the ego, thinking that one species is more intelligent than another. And gosh, I can't tell you the lessons I've learned from my dog and from my daggone lizard, for that fact.
Yeah.
I try to have a respect for all life, be it a plant or a bug. But as far as internationally, I don't handle a lot of those things, so I don't want to give you an uneducated answer there.
No problem.
But we do receive emails all of the time, and I know that through networking, a lot of times if we can't do something, that we will share it to help network, so somebody who is in the position to help can do that.
Sure. I know here in California, a couple of years ago, they passed a law about, chaining, where you can't have your dog chained up and tied up over like 3 hours a day or something like that. Were you guys involved with that?
Well, I don't know directly. Tamara might have been. She's involved in so many things, and I'm in charge more of the marketing aspect, so I'm not directly correlated to the legislation. But I can probably safely say that she was probably at the root of it.
I'm sure.
With educational purposes.
It was great. It was so great.
But I'm not going to take ownership, because honestly, it takes a village, and there's never one person responsible for change.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a catalyst.
Yeah.
But it takes a village.
Yeah. No doubt about it, man. So in terms of on like the marketing, how do you guys? I'm sure you guys are 501c and all that, or
yes.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
So is it mainly a donation? Sponsored organization?
It is. Yes, and we greatly need that. I don't, people look at numbers and I don't think they understand that we're not a shelter. We're a rehabilitation center. So our skill sets have to be a little bit different than that of working in a shelter. And please don't think that I am downgrading people who work at a shelter. That's not it. But we have to be more in tune with behavioral aspects, because we're not getting Fluffy who got turned in because their mother had a baby. And we're getting a dog who's lived on a chain and has known nothing but maybe someone throwing them garbage to eat for 10 and 12 years. So the psychology behind that has got to be a lot different. And hoarding dogs actually, I think, are even worse than chained dogs sometimes, to get them to come around. So we have to be exceptionally responsible. Our liability issues are greater. So in answer to your original question about donations, our donations that come in pay for our staff, and we have limited staff. We're not talking, Tamara was never one of those CEOs who took $200,000 for herself. In fact, you'll see,
my pet peeve there, baby. We all know about, $19 a month for life, and, somebody's driving a Mercedes and living in the Tudor mansion and stuff, it's amazing.
Yeah. So to put that into perspective, I'm going to put this out there because it's very, very emotional, but and I don't mind sharing it. But about a year ago, I had some financial issues, and I came to her and I said, I love it here. I don't want to leave, but financially, I have to.
Right.
And she said to me, she gave me the biggest compliment that anyone has ever given to me in my life. And she said, Amy, I will take a cut in my pay to make sure that you can stay here. And I don't want you to work hourly, because that's not what you do. She said, your forte is creativity. So I want you to be you and find ways to bring money into the organization to keep our doors open with no structure, no strings, just go do what you do. And for someone to give up their money and have blind faith in me because of what interests me and what my passions are, I can't put, that is worth $1 million
Right.
plus to me. I can never quantify that.
Right.
And that is the heart of Tam.
Right. Yeah, man. That is the truth. You know, because people don't get it, and that's why, you know, I started these shows is to try to inform the public. You know, to just try to reach out and show the people like you and, you know, the different people around the world doing rescue work on the ground level, you know, on the street level, that get no notoriety, you know, they get no attention, they get no appreciation for that hard work, because I've seen the rescues, you know, who they have a family and kids and, you know, they're living in a house and, you know, on a limited budget, and one person is working and another one is running this rescue, and they're pulling dogs from shelters and feeding them and sending them to the veterinarian and getting them healthy, and then, you know, helping rehabilitate them and break down all of the issues that they have from being in a bad situation, you know, a household or sheltered to death or whatever, and then giving that dog away. You know, that is.
I will tell you that there are a lot of egos and pride in the dog. You know, everyone thinks that they're the dog whisperer and that they know the most.
We don't say that. We don't say that word around. We don't say that dog whisperer word around here. That's a whole nother issue. Yeah. All I'll say is,
when that is taken out of the equation and it's done purely from your heart, you will find that people will be put into your lives that will touch you so much greater than you can imagine, and take you to places, and the rehabilitation process. Just last week, as a matter of fact, we had a feral dog who finally was well enough to go to his forever home, and he got loose. And that is our nightmare, because now you have a dog that you've worked with who really doesn't, they have stimulation overload, they don't know where they are. Although they're microchipped, you have to catch them first to get them home safely. So we all dropped what we were doing. It took 3 days of traipsing around and getting cut from head to toe in swamplands. And even there was a lovely officer who pulled over at the base of a woods that we knew where he was and shined his spotlight in between the highway and that woods all night long to make sure he did not get on that highway until we could get back in the morning, because it was snake and bear infested swampland.
Wow.
We got him back, and I came home literally cut up from brambles and everything. All of us did, and we were exhausted. And I had someone say to me, "Why would you drop what you're doing and spend so much time looking for a dog that you've already adopted out?" And I thought, wow, you so don't get that will always be our baby. We'll always have that commitment until the day that dog dies. I mean, that's our heart, that's our soul. So honestly, for people who don't get that, I A, feel sorry for them, and B, pray that some way something will touch them to let them know that kind of deep commitment, which is the start of how we get dogs off of chains.
And so you guys, tell us how it works with your organization. You will get a call, and so do you guys take dogs away, or do you just try to inform the owners about the detriment of having a dog chained, or what? Take me through the process.
It depends on the situation. The ultimate goal is to make sure that the dog is safe and living inside of a house. That's our ultimate goal. So in some cases, we only have a 13 dog capacity. And right now we're trying to raise $375,000 so we can add on to the property and take another 50 dogs in, and they'll have their own suites and so on and so forth. So that's our biggest problem, is we don't have the capacity to take more than the 13, since they do live in and it's dangerous. But we'll get a call. The first thing we have to do is contact local authorities or contact our service reps in that area to go make sure it's legitimate. And if the owner is willing to relinquish the dog, then if we are at capacity, then we will try to find a place for the dog to go safely in foster or at another rescue, which happens quite a bit. If the owner will not relinquish the dog, then we offer fence grants where we will actually pay money to help build fences so that the dog can get off of the chain. And if it's an abuse case, then of course it goes to the local authorities, and we have to depend on them, which sometimes is good and sometimes it's not, depending on where it is. So then they come to the center. When they finally do get to us, that's one of my responsibilities to behaviorally evaluate them and figure out that if they're acting a certain way because of the breed characteristics that make them up, you know, if they're a herding dog. I mean, that's my job, to take that jigsaw puzzle and basically take it apart to find out what made it get put together, and then to put the pieces back and come up with a game plan so that the picture ends up a lot prettier.
Right. So do you guys work with law enforcement?
We do sometimes. We do not have much support locally because of the Michael Vick thing. They were supporters of Michael Vick, so that's been a sore spot for us. And one of the reasons why it was so important to do that charity event, because I think the biggest resource that we have is the local community, and it's not really been tapped into. So now we have to kind of go backwards to go forward.
Right.
But in some cases, yes.
No, I was going to say, what Michael Vick thing?
Come on now.
Yeah, right. Like I said, hey, we go in and out of the drama into.
Okay, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Here comes the drama. All right, NFL star Michael Vick operated his bad news dogfighting facility out of the property that now we reside on with our good news rehabilitation center.
You're kidding. Wait a minute. The football quarterbacking superstar was fighting dogs?
Yes, sir. Well, it's alleged that happened, and many dead dogs were found on the property. We have not touched the barns where the things happened. It's kind of people akin it to a Holocaust museum, and many have asked, why would you leave that there? But it's how we educate. And in fact, when that film crew came for the music video, the first thing we did was we toured those buildings, and to watch people just stand and look and see the reality of it firsthand, it's pretty poignant. He was not, even though there was substantial proof, I don't believe he was ever brought up on the dogfighting charges. I think it was more tax issues. He didn't have jail time with that, but he has never come back and given our organization anything to support what we're doing in any way, shape, or form.
Well, let me say this on that, okay? Because there was a whole bunch of people taking sides both ways on that whole, Michael Vick thing. And, the people who are totally ignorant and uninformed about dogfighting and the viciousness and the barbaricness of it, said, oh, well, it wasn't that big a deal, and yada, yada, right? But the one thing, and being, again, I have an advantage and a disadvantage because I've been able to grow up in America in two different worlds, in the normal America, right, white America, but then also in African American America. And to see and know that when you see organizations, when you're talking about donations and all of these kind of things, that, when he got this community service stuff, like the Humane Society, for 30 years, I've watched these guys. And part of my pet peeve on the whole education thing is the world needs education towards the animal-human interaction and relationship, period. But I've watched, billboards be put up in Beverly Hills and different places where wealthy people are about spade and neutering and different things like that, where these people can afford to have, 1 dog, 2 dogs, 10 dogs, or whatever they want to have. But then in the urban areas, of America, where there are real problems, and problems not because of the type of people, but just because of the education, aspects of it.
Exactly.
The African American and Latino communities, you don't see the effort being given to that whole education side. And I figured out it's all because of donations. They put the billboards up in the areas where people have money. So when they start their campaigns about giving money, and supporting us, those people think that these people are doing this great work and give them money. But what hurt me personally was to see that the Humane Society had nobody black involved in their organization for years and years and years. And I mean, I became known as America's only African American animal photographer in 1977. And the Carnation Company was the only company that sponsored me on a tour, going around the country and different things. And, to see that organization was the premier organization known for animal welfare and different things, and not one African American person on the board, not one African American person doing any kind of promotion or education or training. And then when Michael Vick had to do some sort of a payback or community, he hooked up with, I think it's Purcelli. Wayne Purcelli is the guy's name, is with,
Yeah.
and they went out, and I think Michael Vick raised like between $3 and $5 million, or something like. When I checked the numbers at one time, it was $1.5 million, but I think it ended up between $3 and $5 million. And then they hired like some cursory African American dog trainers and stuff. The program didn't do anything. It's not ongoing. You don't see it now. I haven't seen any efforts that on a national scale that you can see. And I tried to contact Michael Vick's management and all those people, during that time to try to say, hey, these are the issues. And all they told me was, well, Mike's not doing anything with dogs. We're staying away from the dog issues but yet,
Right.
So that kind of stuff that's criminal in itself. It really, really is. And
I will tell you one thing I'm very proud about is the production team who stepped up to do this music video is a black production team. And we
Great.
discussed this on Sunday. And he said, what's right is right. What's wrong is wrong.
That's right.
It's not black. It's not white. It's
That's
not
right.
rainbow. It's not
It's
gay.
human.
It's not. It is. Right is right and
That's
wrong
right.
is wrong.
That's right. It's human.
It shouldn't have anything to do. So we are very proud because for them to step out and come into the spotlight, which they will be in the spotlight on this, I'm so proud of him and so proud of what we're doing and the
Good.
messages. And so I do understand that, although I have not experienced that. But one of the things I have noticed with our fan base is the same thing. We don't have any African American, I won't say we don't have any,
No,
but
I
we
know
have
what you
very
mean.
little.
Right.
And in our community, we're out in the middle of nowhere. So it's, we do have issues out there. They don't like us. And that's why we work so hard to get that local event together to kind of expand a little bit past Surrey County to bring the locals in. So I'm hoping that will open the floodgates there. And I'm not quite sure why there's such a dichotomy with race issues in the dog world.
Yeah,
But there really is.
Yeah, well, it's because, like I'm saying, that the education, you got to understand, for the past 20 or 30 years, there hasn't been an effort, to reach out. And, when you look at people, and I mean, and I hate to point fingers, but I will, like Cesar Millan, and we have some history, and people can Google that and find that out. But he was a guy who's Latino, and he was on television, national TV, national name, and there were no efforts on the ground level for change or to speak out, and maybe that's one of the reasons that, no one has reached out to me because I don't hold back. I just call it exactly like it is, and I speak to the issues, and I don't worry about stepping on anybody's toes because, as I say in one of the videos that I made during our conversations with the Pitbull campaign, if no one of African American and Latino descent steps up on a national level and addresses the issues, we will. And we are just raising another 50,000 Michael Vicks because there's no education going on to let the younger children and people growing up understand that dogfighting is not a sport. There's nothing funny about it. There's nothing entertaining about it. And it is a crime. It's a crime. It's murder on any scale that you do it. It's just like, it's worse than...
There's a direct correlation between the human abuse also.
Yeah.
And I would love to have some sort of tangible number to refer back to that. But if you don't think it's starting with the animal and escalating, then you're simply naive.
That's right. Totally.
It's respect for life and for a soul, period.
Yeah. Well, I think
if you don't have the respect...
You don't have respect. Well, and that's across the board, man. I mean, I tell people, with your kids and your animals, it's the same thing. If you don't spend time with a child or a dog and hug them, love them, make sure that they're socialized and educate them, then they will get educated in a negative way by somebody outside of your household, and eventually they will be doing the perp walk, hands down. It's just you can count on it. So what I've been doing is telling people, just like you, our guests that come on the show, who are doing things on a national level and I'm in the entertainment business. I've been a cinematographer and writer and director, producer, all of my life. I don't know I'm not a marketing person. I'm not a salesperson or corporate. I don't know how to do that. And, we got just this is when you talk about limited staff, you pretty much, besides Paula Archer, who works I'll say I work her to death, and
yeah, you do.
And thank God for her.
She's a good girl.
Yeah, for years, and Danny, we've been carrying this load, and we want to hook up with organizations like yours. We had a guest on the other day, Finding Rover. And different people around the country who are doing things on a national level, who have organizations that are structured to hook up with you guys. Because I firmly believe that if we can get some sort of a national tour together, to make the problems part of pop culture, so everybody understands the breeding aspects. Everyone understands the chaining of dogs. Everyone understands the abuse, that is happening. And the dog fighting issues. If we can come together to make it where, everybody knows it's on the news, it's on the radio, people hear about these events, and just to reach the common John Q. public, we can do something. So with corporate sponsors, it's so many corporations, making money off of the whole animal world and dogs and cats and horses and that for that money, part of that money not to be given back and to education. that's wrong, but I'm just I'm an entertainment guy. I don't know the whole corporate thing, but I'm going to be, reaching out for guys like you so that, we can maybe come together and put something together. I know Shorty, from Pit Boss and Johnny Ray, I'm trying to work with them to try to put together something. Did you hear about this event that I went down and participated? It was Johnny Ray from Doghouse, Birdhouse in Burbank. But him and Shorty,
I did not
and me and Danny, we went down to support Johnny's event, and in Mexico, in Tijuana, and spayed and neutered 300 dogs for free in one day.
Wow.
300.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I think it's April 10th, we're going to do a show. Shorty's going to be in town or Skype in or something, and Johnny's going to be in the studio. And Danny and I, we shot a documentary, around the whole event. But it is, it was so heartwarming and touching that, we swore to try to figure out some sort of way that we can do this across America,
Well, our doors are always open. I would love for you to come broadcast out of our facility and spend some time there and meet our production crew who can certainly work with you, and I'm sure he'd be amenable to that.
Yeah.
I'll apologize right now for throwing that out there because he's probably saying, Amy, shut up. But no. He's wonderful. And,
no, absolutely.
And he's in with the mission, and there's, like we said before, one person can't change everything, but they can certainly be the catalyst to great things. That's our goal and your goal. So if we put those things together, we can only make things happen for the better.
Yeah.
So I would love to invite you. In fact, to the general public, we do have 2 bedrooms. We freely invite people to come visit. We don't have a closed door policy. When you walk in at 8 a.m., it's going to look the same as it does at midnight. We don't have anything to hide, irregardless of what the press makes up about our facility sometimes, which is aggravating. And there are always people who just can't be happy for you and can't be helpful. There are always trolls out there. So
wait a minute, haters?
To put that to bed, haters gonna hate.
Right.
But as Tam used to say, if you're not doing anything worth talking about, they're not going to talk about you. So please, to the public, I don't know your viewers, if you want to come to Virginia to explore our area, again, our doors are open. You're welcome to stay at the center. We'll give you tours. You can have a dog sleep with you in the bed. You can pick whichever one suits your needs, and we might even adopt one out to you. So
absolutely.
That's
right. So before we go to commercial, we'll come back to you for sure. But tell everyone where they can reach you guys.
dogsdeservebetter.org on the internet. We are under Dogs Deserve Better on Facebook and Dogs Deserve on Twitter. There are a couple satellites of Dogs Deserve Better on Facebook. So if you were trying to find us, we are the ones that have 800,000+ followers or fans on our Facebook.
Wow.
So make sure that you find the right one.
That's 799 more than we have.
Well, maybe after today.
799,000, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I think we got 4. You'll have 5
today because I have a big mouth baby.
There you go. So, hey, we'll be right back. We're going to stop and pay the bills with our wonderful, wonderful and only sponsor, Mr. Procter & Gamble. That we have Pitbull Energy Drink, and we'll be right back after word.
All right.
Are you a diabetic? Need some energy? Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy with vitamins and minerals. Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink is the healthiest, best-tasting energy drink around. For more information and online ordering with free shipping, please visit hiphopbev.com. Remember, Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, suitable for diabetics, great for everyone.
All right, we're black. Yep. So, if for those of you who are just happen to be just tuning in late, good morning, good morning, good morning, wherever you are in the world. And we have Amy Havens, is it?
Amy Havens Hines.
Amy Havens. That's right. Give him credit for being there. Amy Havens Hines from Dogs Deserve Better with us. And it's been a wonderful conversation, and we're just going to continue with that. You know, Amy, on our show, what we do too, we have segments that Paula Archer does, and Regina is part of the team now. She does segments where we present dogs around the country that are up for adoption. And,
wonderful.
Yeah, and and it's a wonderful thing. Paula's record is we average 2 dogs getting adopted per show. And our Paula's record is 1 show last year we got 12 dogs adopted.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's great.
It's insane. I mean, because just so America, there's a pet out there for you, whether it be a dog or cow or horse or snake or, whatever, there's an animal that needs a loving home. And, as far as the dogs, we really, we focused a lot on pit bulls because that was the basis of our beginning with conversations with the pit bull because of the stigma of the dogs and the overbreeding of the dogs. And when you said it before, the media, the whole media. There's another pit bull attack today.
Right. I can tell you about the Cocker Spaniel that just took a kid's face off.
Exactly. There was 500 dog bites in the city today, but there's another pit bull attack.
That one.
So, I guess it's true. But they say if it bleeds, it leads, right? But it's got to be, it's got to be the pit bull, man, to take that beating. So, Rock, let me ask you, Paula up and around and ready for get some dogs adopted? Paula Archer, if you out there, hit us up so we can, get some dogs in this segment of the show. So, Amy, go ahead and,
Tell you about all of our adoptable dogs that are ready to go right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm putting words in your mouth. I'm sorry.
No problem, man. That's all right.
Of you.
Oh, no. Help me out.
We have a wonderful 1-year-old full of energy pit bull named Wyatt, who, if I could have him, he'd be mine. He's kind of my, he's my main man. And he's brindle and white, and he has the most beautiful eyes, and he's very smart. He knows sit, and he knows high five and shake and down when he wants to. I say when he wants to because sometimes he's just so cute that maybe we don't have enough of a stern obedience training with him because he's just so lovey and clunky. But I could see him with maybe a military guy who runs because he's very active. He's got a great nose. He's very athletic. And then we have a mini pit bull mix, predominantly pit bull. She's white with a little cream on her. Her name is Misty, and she is about 2 years old. She just came off of the chain 2 weeks ago, and she's like a little sprite. I love her. She's a wonderful little dog. And then don't worry, I won't babble on all of them. He's like, oh gosh, how much time?
No, it's totally all right. Let me ask you this though: if where can people see these dogs at?
You can go to dogsdeservebetter.org, and we always post our dogs on there. I usually do a segment on Tuesdays and Thursdays called In This Episode of the Center, and I'll post the pictures of the dogs, what they were doing that day. I'm missing it today. It will be on there tomorrow, but if you scroll back, you can see some of our dogs. Also on Pet Finder, we put them on the big sites as well. So if you just put in Smithfield, Virginia for that, you'll see some of our dogs. And if you're looking for something in particular, a certain personality or size, just email us and we can show you what we have and see if there's a good fit. We will transport to the right home.
That was my next question.
We do. Yes, we require a yard check, and there are so many people who say, "Well, I'm a great owner. I don't know why I didn't pass that yard check." Well, I will tell you, we love our dogs, and it's our discretion as to whether or not you'll get one. And I know that sounds kind of cocky, but they live in a home environment. We have 16 acres. They love it there. They're not in kennels and cages. And we want to make sure that it's a perfect fit. So we have a 100% retention rate. We don't want you falling in love with a dog because it's cute. So.
Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm here. My engineer was I'm here. The engineer was talking to me. We were trying to get Paula up. And no, go ahead. You were still fine. Can you hear me?
Well, I'm just saying that we make sure we do our due diligence. And for the most part, we have very, very successful luck with our dogs, and we keep in communication. So if there is an issue, and God forbid a dog needs to come back, which we did have one come back not too long ago because the owner got the terminal illness. So, and that dog has since been rehomed. But we don't take adoptions lightly. We've spent months, if not years, with some of these dogs to rehabilitate them. So we need to make sure they get into the right homes to make a long-term relationship.
Right. Now, speaking of that one particular dog that you said may be great with a military person that loves to run and stuff.
Wyatt.
Are you familiar with Joe Trainer in right outside of Chicago, who has one pet for one vet?
I am not.
Yeah, because, so what I'll do is have Paula or Regina or somebody, because probably I'll forget, connect you with them, because what they do is they take dogs from shelters and rescue, and they place them. They work with the Veterans Administration in some capacity to place dogs with veterans and who coming back from wars and different things that need to it's a loving thing. They both rehab and readjust to everything together. So that may be, it would be a good connection for you guys at least to know, because if you have a dog that you see has a certain personality or whatever that may fit with them, you guys could work it out.
Definitely. I'd like to bring up, if I have a second, I want to give a shout out to Mutt Runners in Hampton. And I don't know if you are aware of who they are or what they do, but they're a group of avid runners, and they also run a rescue training and kind of a rehabilitation center. So if we get a dog in that we can't integrate with ours, and we feel that it has so much energy that it needs some outlets, then Mutt Runners will actually foster our dogs, and they will take them on runs and integrate them with the pack of running dogs and, get the energy worked out. And it's a beautiful thing to watch, and they're very valuable to our success and evaluating our dogs. They're extremely competent, and if you have a problem dog in the local area, they will be the first to help you. So I wanted to let you know that they're out there as well. And if you haven't talked to Kit over at Mutt Runners or Steve, they'd be really, really wonderful people to have on the show. I'd love to get them out there.
Absolutely. Give our information to them and to Paula, and let's get them in here, and expose them and let everybody know about the great work that they're doing. When you said mutt runners, I thought actually you were talking about one of my dogs, Gabby, who is literally an escape artist, because she's a mutt, and I got probably 10, 12 years ago from the shelter, and man, that baby, she's an escape artist, and she's always running. Just like, so
Yeah.
everyone that finds her, and she ends up coming back from, because the people at our local shelter, they recognize her off the bat. She's a repeat offender, So
You need one of those GPSers so you know when she breaks the perimeter.
Yeah.
And it alerts you.
Yeah, exactly, or something, man. Because this baby, she and I'm surprised and thank God she hasn't got hit by a car, because she just, she'll run down the middle of the street and stop traffic. That's might be one of her better traits, if she's not in somebody's yard talking to them, barking at their dog, she'll run down the middle of the street and stop traffic, and somebody always grabs her and pulls her out. But she's chipped and all that stuff, so we get her back. But mutt runners, yeah, that's a great. What are they in Virginia?
Yes, they are. They're in Hampton, Virginia.
Okay. Hey, Paula.
Regina's talking to you.
Oh, that's Regina. Hello?
Hey, yeah, yes, it's Regina. I just wanted to say that I actually know Steve from the Mutt Runners and can definitely invite him to the show.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
So
you'll love those guys. They are wonderful.
yeah, well, let's do this. I see that Paula Archer has joined us. Hello, dear.
Hi, Paula.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing today?
Hello.
Happy April Fools.
Yeah. Happy April Fool's.
Yep.
A day early.
Yes. So
You are the king of pranks.
but we just try to keep America, entertained and informed, So we'll approach April Fool's Day like a birthday, Doesn't have to be just one day. We'll do it all week, So Paula, you got some dogs for us that need some homes?
I always have dogs.
Yes.
Always.
We're trying to work.
Fact, isn't it?
We're trying to work on that,
I wouldn't mind at all being put out of a job. I really wouldn't. Because that would mean that all dogs had a home.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let you do your dogs now, and then we'll probably take a break so we can save the show, an hour after you do your thing, and Amy and I'll be back after that. Okay. So it's you and Rock.
If Rock is ready, I'm ready to tell about dogs. So.
I think he's ready to go.
Okay. First up, we have Franklin. Franklin is an amazing 4-year-old pit mix who had a tough beginning in life. He was saved from that awful fate and is now doing quite nicely, other than the fact that he needs a loving forever home. He is neutered, up to date on shots, and currently located in Oceanside, New York. For more information on Franklin, please contact Road to Home Rescue. And I will be giving more of their contact information a little bit later towards the end of the list. So now next up, we have Tully. He is a 2-year-old Dalmatian pit mix, and he is absolutely beautiful. Tully has spent a majority of his life in the shelter. Due to his high energy level, he would do best in a home with older children. He would love to be the apple of someone's eye and be the only pet. He is neutered, up to date on shots, and for more information on fostering or adopting Tully, you can contact Road to Home Rescue. Now we have our next one is beautiful. Hello, Dolly. This pretty little pibble has gone through some very difficult times in her short life of a year and a half. She is currently located also in Oceanside, New York. Dolly would love to be the center of your world, and she needs to be an only child, and older children need to be in the home due to her high energy level. Dolly is spayed, up to date on shots, and for more information about fostering or adopting her, please contact Road to Home Rescue. Now we have Handsome Hank. Handsome Hank has not had an easy life either. This 2-year-old handsome pit mix is full of energy, full of life, full of love, and he will put a smile on your face every day if you are the lucky one who opens your heart and home to him. Hank is approximately 2 years old, and he is located on Long Island, New York. He is neutered, up to date on shots, and you can get more information on him from Road to Home Rescue. Now this next guy, this handsome little fellow, is Calvin. Calvin is a lab mix. He is neutered, up to date on shots, approximately a year old, and this guy is a total love bug. Calvin is learning to play well with others, but would prefer to be your one and only true love. We would recommend a home with children 12 years of age or older. If you are interested in fostering or adopting Calvin, please contact Road to Home Rescue Support, and their email address is info road2home@gmail.com. I'm sorry I butchered that, so you can get a hold of me and I can give you that email address again. Now, next up we have Sophie. I just don't understand it. This dog has been in the shelter for over 4 years. And if you read her complete bio, she sounds like the perfect dog. Sophie is a beautiful girl. She's full of life, and she has so much love to give. She arrived by way of animal control officers as a stray, and no one came to bring her home. Sophie isn't a fan of other dogs. She prefers to be an only child and get all of the love herself. She is located at the Brookhaven Animal Shelter, and that is in Brookhaven, New York. Their phone number is 631-286-4940. Now, our next dog is Murdoch. So here's the scoop on Murdoch. He is 6.5 years old. He came into the shelter as part of a cruelty case after his owner was arrested for dog fighting. When Murdoch arrived, he had fresh wounds and old scars. Just recently, in the legal case against his former owner, the owner pled guilty to his charges of dog fighting, and Murdoch was finally freed. He has overcome this first hurdle, but here comes the tougher one. Murdoch needs a home. Murdoch loves people, toys, and even walks well on a leash. The staff and volunteers at the town of Hampstead Animal Shelter describe Murdoch as a complete sweetheart with a heart of gold. And he's a mush, he's a kisser, he's a cuddler, and everything you'd expect for your furry best friend to be. And even though Murdoch needs to be a solo dog in a household, he can very happily and easily pass another dog on the street without so much as a glance. Murdoch deserves a loving, safe home with people who care for him. If you know someone who is interested in adopting him, call the shelter. If you can adopt, if you can't adopt, please pass his info on to everyone you know. He is located in the town of Hampstead Animal Shelter, and that number is 516-785-5220. And that's all the dogs I have for right now. I'll be back later with some more. And Regina's going to join in and help me do some dogs today too. So
Cool.
I have help. Save my throat a little bit.
All right. Well, hey, you had even extra help today. Amy chimed in with a couple of dogs that they have in Virginia. So let's get those.
How can we get the list that you just had? I mean, I'd love to help and cross post those at least. I mean, that's the way it works. So is there any way you can provide that to me or to everyone? How do we do that?
Yes. You can go to Paws Pit Parade on Facebook, and we have dogs on there from all across the United States, and we will welcome people coming to the page and helping us share out these dogs. Most of our dogs are urgent and are under time restrictions, so all the help that we can get, we would appreciate it.
All right, we're on it.
Pit. Great, thank you.
All right. So, Paula, you got any more news for us right now? Or are you going to stay with us or what? I know you constantly busy.
Well, I'm a little busy right now, but I will give up my spot on Skype for a little bit, and so we don't crash.
Okay.
I know it,
That's right. Oh, speaking of which, how do we need to do? We go to commercial. You want to save? Because Amy, just to inform you, because we are on no budget, I have to keep taking these Pitbull energy drink cans back to the recycler, to buy hamster food, to keep the 2 hamsters up under the desk running around so that we can keep the power going. So temporarily, from time to time, we save the shows on, try to do it around the hour or so. So, we don't lose it because it's technology, baby, And so I'm referring to Rock. If you tell me what we good? Okay, so yeah. So Rock is saying that we good to go. So Amy, tell us. Pardon me? Yeah, we're gonna take a break and save the show. So we're gonna do a commercial. We'll be right back, guys. Hold on. And if you're watching the live feed and it drops, just refresh your page and we'll be here. All right. Hold 1 second.